The Zscaler security team has a blog at research.zscaler.com. You will see several, like 2 to 5 posts a week about web security, and several posts about Blackhat Spam SEO. If you have any question after this presentation, you can always email me at jsobrier.zscaler.com. I've co-written a book called Power Security Tools, and I've been working on Blackhat Spam SEO since December 2009. So during this presentation, I'll try to answer these questions. What is Blackhat Spam SEO? How attackers are using Blackhat Spam SEO? How prevalent it is, especially in Google search results? What are the different type of attacks that they use? What search engines are currently doing about Blackhat Spam SEO? How users can protect themselves, and actually you cannot see the bottom, how search engine can protect their users better. So what is Blackhat Spam SEO? So what attackers are doing is creating thousands of fake pages for popular search terms and creating it in a way that they will rank high in Google search results. So to get a list of popular search results, they use Google Hot Trends. And Google Hot Trends display every day the list of popular searches in the US for that day. There are 20 hot trends, popular searches a day. So they get their information from this tool to know what kind of pages they should write. Then they need to get the content, and to do that, they do another Google search for this popular term, and along with the links, Google will show a short paragraph for each web page. So they actually use this paragraph from the Google search to create the spam pages, and they usually add a lot of dates in the content to show as up to date to Google to have a better ranking. And so now that they have all their spam pages, they need to feed them into Google. So they create additional pages that are links to these spam pages. So this is an example of a spam page that links to spam content. You see a lot of popular keywords that were popular in August, I think. So what is the goal of these fake pages? So these fake pages are used only to get indexed in Google, but they actually want, so they want the user to click on one of these spam page in the search result in order to redirect them to malicious sites. And the way they differentiate between a search engine crawler like Googlebot and a user is by checking the referrer. So they check if the request is coming from somebody who was in Google, Bing, or Yahoo, or any other search engine. And they also can do the redirection with either JavaScript or Flash to make sure that this is a real browser hitting the spam page. So that way they can feed the spam page to Google in order to get indexed and redirect the user to the malicious page. So to do that, to create their spam pages, they actually don't use their own website. They hijack some legitimate websites. And to not be detected by the webmasters, they don't modify the existing pages. They add new pages on the website. They always try to hide their spam pages. So you will see spam pages using xmlrpc.php, which is for WordPress, a page that's used to remotely control your blog. They use robot.txt, which is used by, again, search engine crawlers, not seen by regular users. They hide in the image folder where the webmaster does not expect to see pages. They create hidden folders on Linux, like a dot something, a dot file folder. So they really try to hide their pages from the webmaster to not be detected. And this is what spam pages can look like. So here you see just plain text, basically, with no link, no CSS, no style sheets, no images, just content with a bunch of dates. And the sentences put together don't actually make sense. It's just a bunch of sentences that they got from the Google search result put together around one keyword. But now the spam pages are getting a lot smarter and looks more like a real website. So this one is not an MTV page. It was taken from some other hijacked site, and you will see a lot of dates. But here you will actually see real images. They make links to legitimate websites. I've seen links to Flickr, to Facebook, to NSA. They have style sheets. They really look like a real page, but of course the page is actually very different from the rest of the website. So now that they have created their web page, they have a script on the hijack site that redirects user to the malicious site. And again, they do it based on the referrer header. They do it based on the user agent, so they may check if you are actually using Internet Explorer, Firefox, or any of the regular browser. And they can even use Flash and JavaScript to detect fake browser from real browser. This is an example of a request. Unfortunately, we cannot see the entire slide on the screen. But the first request is from a Google search. You can see the referrer here. Is from google.com, and the search was for meteor shower tonight. And the first request is to a spam page hosted on spacecoast-trading.ipower.com. And when you hit the web page, you see the user does not see any content. There is a redirection to another domain, a .ws domain extension, which does actually all the checks for, which does additional checks to differentiate between a real user or a crawler or a security tool. And what you don't see here is that this website, .ws, will then redirect you to, will redirect the user to a malicious site that hosts the malware. In this case, is kill77-virus-code.cc. But unfortunately, I cannot show the entire page here, entire slide. So in a nutshell, that's how it works. So Google first will follow the blue line. So Google will call the hijack site, and it will be redirected to a spam content. And that's what will be indexed in Google. That's what Google will display to the user. But if a user, the red dot, make a popular search in Google, he will find this hijack site in the search result, click on the link, but instead of going to the spam content, it will actually be redirected to a malware. There could be more than one redirections. It's a simplified version, but you get the idea. There's usually a command and control server involved, which tells the hijack site what keyword they should create page on, what content should be there, and to what malicious website they should redirect. So how prevalent it is? So again, that's for the 20 daily popular searches that Google Hot Trend shows. So for these searches, more than 50% of the popular search contain at least one spam link in the first 10 pages. So all the research that I've done was only on the 10 first pages, the first 100 results. And that was from, I think, March to August. So almost 60% of the popular searches contain a spam link in Google. And I've seen up to 90% of the first 100 links being malicious. And this is a breakdown of all the malicious, all the searches, popular searches that have at least one malicious link. And you can see here that 10% of the infected search results had more than 50% of malicious spam link. So more than 50 spam link in the first 100 pages. So what are the types of attacks? So what are the types of websites that you are redirected to after connecting to a spam page? The most popular one is the fake antivirus page. I have a screenshot here. So it looks like a desktop antivirus running on your computer, which warns you that your computer is infected with viruses, and nicely prompts you with a download box where you can download the solution, the antivirus, which is, of course, malicious executable. I have a video of it that I can show you if I know how to use the Mac. Let's see. It's here. Yeah, this one. So this was done on April 15, just after tax day, which is I think April 14. So one of the popular, many of the popular searches were on the tax day. And in this example, I will show you in a minute. I went to Google Hot Trend, looked, saw a trend for Google's tax freebie, I believe. I entered the query in Google, and the first regular link, under the Twitter links and the Facebook link and some other real-time links, the first link on the page in Google was a malicious spam link that redirected me to a fake antivirus page. Okay, I'll be able to do it full screen. So this is Google Hot Trends. This is one of the hot trends for that day. I do a search on Google, gets to the first link, click on it, and here it is. This is a fake antivirus page. So you see it looks like a desktop antivirus. Shows me that the PC is infected, and whatever you do, even if you don't click, you actually get prompted for executable to download. If you try to leave the page, you get prompted for the executable against to download. So that's by far the most popular type of attack these days with spam SEO. Okay, where is my OpenOffice? Here. But of course, they are changing their attacks all the time. So the other popular type of attacks is a fake video player. You go to a page that often looks like a YouTube page, and they warn you that you either don't have the right codec to read the video, or you don't have the right ActiveX in this case, or you don't have the right video player. And again, you're asked to download and install the video player. And it's, of course, a malicious file. They do the same thing with Flash update. They tell you your Flash version is out of date and you need to update to be able to read the video. They also do more targeted attacks for specific browser. So for example, for Firefox, they may tell you that your Firefox version is out of date. So on this page, I was actually running Firefox 3.6.8, but they told me my version was too old. They also told me my Flash version was too old, and I had to download a new version. And if you have Firefox, you'll see that the page looks really like the official Firefox page. They use the same fonts, the same image background, the same type of icons. And even the domain names are pretty good. For example, for the malicious executable, for the Flash update, the domain name was flashupdate.co.cc. So very easy to fool user. They're pretty well done. And of course, there are non-malicious spam. You may be more familiar with it. So this presentation is not on this harmless spam, but really on malicious spam, but I thought I would mention it. So the most popular non-malicious spam is a fake search engine. So they do the same thing as a malicious spam. They hijack fake page, legitimate website. They create a new spam page, but you get directly to a fake search engine, and all the links that they show to the user are actually advertising. So they get money every time a user click on them, and there is of course just plain old spam. So what are the search engines doing about it? So in my opinion, not enough when you see that 50% of the popular search results are actually infected. I think there's some improvement that can be done. So Google Safe Browsing is not, I believe, the answer. So if you're not familiar with Google Safe Browsing, Google maintains a blacklist of malicious and phishing sites. This blacklist is used by most of the browsers, Firefox, Opera, Chrome, Safari. But there are limitations. I will go into more details. One of them is that Internet Explorer does not use Google Safe Browsing. Google will sometimes show warnings in the search result. If they know that a link is malicious, they will actually warn the user. and I'll show you an example a little bit later. Well, what was very surprising for me is in Google you have an option called Safe Search, which is on by default, and with the word safe in it, I've saw that it will be used to filter out dangerous, unsafe result, but this is, I think, only used for adult content. So this is an example of a warning that Google might show in a search result at the top here. So under the link that says this site may harm your computer, and if you still decide to click on the link, they will not redirect you to the website. They will redirect you to another Google page, warning you again that you should not visit this website. And there's no direct link actually on this page. You have to copy and paste the URL from the page to go to the malicious site. Yeah. So, but what about this warning? How many warnings can you see in a Google search? So I've made a comparison of at the top the distribution of warnings among search results, and the number of spam links which don't have malicious spam links which don't have a Google warning. So you see here in purple that 41 search results had more than 50 spam links without any warning, but there were only 3 popular searches that had more than 50 warnings. So the number of warnings does not is much lower than the number of actual malicious spam links. And if you see how it evolved over time, I've looked at 2 examples, 2 popular searches at some point, and I've checked how many malicious links, that's a blue line, they are in the first 100 results. So this one don't have any warning, and how many warning Google is showing. So you see here for Anacostia River pop singer, we started day 2, so the second day after it got popular and got listed on Google Hot Trends. There were about 75 malicious spam links in the first 100 results. And there were only, the second day, only 1 or 2 spam links. And you see over time, the number of warnings goes up, the number of malicious links goes down. But you see even after 10 days, there are, yes, there are more warnings than spam links without warning, but there are still about 7 spam links in this search result. And in the second example, it's even worse. So this one, I've looked at this search 16 days after it was popular to 20 days after it was popular. And we started with around 37 spam links without warning. And after 20 days, we still have more spam links that don't have any warnings than Google warnings. So even so, over time, Google is doing some cleanup in the search result. There are still a lot of spam links that are not being blocked by Google. And then you get the other issue with spam links. So here, this was, I think, the first popular search that I saw that had more than 90 dangerous links in the search result. So this time, Google did a good job of cleaning out the search result. After a few days, they were showing warning. The problem is you had to go to page 7 to see the first link without a warning. So the first 7 pages of result were links where you could not click on it because they had a warning. And you might not see it very well on the screenshot, but again, Safe Search is on. So I would argue that there's no value for the user to see 7 pages of dangerous result when he's looking for something, because these pages are dangerous, and even if you're not getting redirected to the malicious websites, there's absolutely no interesting content on these pages. So Google Safe Browsing, what are the limitations of Google Safe Browsing? So number 1, I think it's a big one, it's not part of Internet Explorer. So whatever you're doing with Google Safe Browsing, you're not protecting more than 70% of the users who are using Internet Explorer and which do not have Google Safe Browsing in their browser. Google Safe Browsing focus on detecting the malicious sites. So they try to detect the malicious sites, not the spam pages, but the malicious site that you are redirected to after the spam page. So as a result, you're always a step behind. Spam pages may redirect you to different malicious sites at different time, depending on your browser, depending on the time of the day, or depending how many times you clicked on them. And to me, it does not always make sense. So I'll show you one example of diagnostic page for Google Safe Browsing. So consult.net is a website that apparently is not maintained by their webmaster at all. You can actually go there. If you just go to the root directory, it's fine. Nothing will happen to your computer. So what does it say here? So this website has been hijacked. It's redirecting users to malicious sites all the time. So what does Google Safe Browsing say about it? So they clearly state here in the first line here that it's not suspicious, which means it's not part of Google Safe Browsing. But then in the first box, they say that in the last 90 days, they actually found a lot of redirection from this domain to malicious pages. And then they list a couple of domains, of malicious domains that the website was redirecting to. And you'll notice xor.pl, that was the first domain that was hosting 95% of the fake AV pages in the first months this year. So Google knows that this website is redirecting users and is still doing it as of today to malicious pages, even not to watch domain, but it's not part of Google Safe Browsing. So what about the other search engine, namely Bing and Yahoo? Bing is surprisingly very clean. I've seen very, very few spam pages in the search result for the popular searches. I'm not sure why. I don't know if it's because they don't index new contents very fast. I don't know if they actually intentionally clean out their search result, but it is very clean. Yahoo is pretty bad. They also have a lot of malicious links, but it takes them a lot of time to index new content. So this spam content will show up on Google the next day after they are created, but they will show up in Google maybe a few weeks later. And by the time they show up in a Yahoo search result, the hijacked site may have been fixed, so these pages don't exist anymore. The malicious site may be down, so the redirection does not happen, and simply the search is not popular anymore. So users are not looking for these keywords, and it doesn't really matter if they have malicious pages in there. So now, what about protection? How users can protect themselves? First thing will be that you may think of is antivirus, right? Because all these malicious pages try to download and run a malicious executable, your antivirus should be able to catch it. Unfortunately, that's not true. Typically less than 25%, and pretty often less than 10% of the antivirus vendor will actually detect anything malicious. There is a website called VirusTotal where you can upload files over there, and it will run the files through 40 or 42 different antivirus, including McAfee, Symantec, any of the antivirus you could buy at Fry's or other stores. And if you can see here in red, this is antiviruses that found the executable as being malicious. And here there are only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 out of the 40 antivirus vendor found something malicious. So it's very likely that your antivirus will not find anything. My antivirus, I think that I'm using is AVG, and pretty much never find anything wrong with all the executable I download. Of course, that actually makes my life easier as a security researcher, not having to disable and re-enable my AV all the time. So second thing will be Google Safe Browsing, again part of Firefox, Chrome, Opera, IE. Sorry, not Internet Explorer, that's a problem. Internet Explorer has its own technology called Smart Screen Filter. I did a quick comparison about what they detect and what Google Safe Browsing detect, and there's not too much overlap. So I don't know which one is better than the others, but clearly none of them catch everything. And of course, they cannot detect all the types of security issues. So at Zscaler, we've tried to approach this problem in a different way, and we released a Firefox extension called Search Engine Security to protect Firefox users. And it's a different approach from AV and Google Safe Browsing in the sense that, remember, in the process, you go from the Google search result to a spam page. The spam page does a couple of checks and figure out if you are a regular user or if you are a bot or some kind of automation tool. So if you can fool the spam page into thinking that you are not a regular user, then you will not be redirected to the fake, to the malicious site. You will either see the spam page content, or sometimes you get a blank page. So what this plugin does is very simple. It actually changes the referrer. When you click on a link, when you leave Google, Bing, or Yahoo, from a search result, when you click on a link to go to the spam page, it will actually change the referrer, and the spam page will not redirect you to the malicious site. So this is a quick screenshot of the plugin. So it works mainly for Bing, Google, and Yahoo, and the reason is 90% of a lot of them, actually, at least of the spam pages, check if you're coming from one of these three websites, and you can change your referrer to anything. You can leave it blank. If you install the plugin on Firefox and you do a search on any of these three engines, you will see under the search bar small notification to show you if the plugin is on or off for this plugin. So this plugin is helping Firefox users to not get infected, not get redirected to the malicious website. Okay, it was kind of a joke here, but you cannot see it. So the other solution might be to simply switch to Bing, since they have much cleaner search results. I didn't switch to Bing. I still like Google, but you have to be aware that if you're looking for everything other people are also looking for, you are at risk. And that's probably something we always say about security. User education is really the only way to fight this. Once users understand that they should not download and install any executable that they found on the internet, and unless it's from trusted sources, they will always run into issues. So what could search engine, and especially Google, do to protect their users better? I think the best way to protect users is actually to focus on the spam pages. So that way you're always a step ahead, right? If you don't go to the spam page from Google search result, then you will not end up on the malicious site. Also, the way spam pages work, the type of URLs they use are always the same. So if you find one spam page on one website, you know what are all the spam pages for the previous Google Hot Trends, and you know what will be the URL for the next, for any of the Google or other Google Hot Trends. And you can also know what are the URL that will be used on other domains, and you can and the spam page always look the same. I mean, there are probably 2 or 3 types of spam pages. So once you're able to detect one type of spam page, you should be able to recognize other spam pages. One of the tests you can do to double check if it is a spam page is simply access the page in 2 ways. First, you go directly without any referrer header. You should end up on the same domain as what you saw in the link, or another domain you could also. But if you because one of the things that they do sometimes is if they figure that you are not a regular user, but you're not a Google bot or search engine bot, they actually redirect you to some random website like CNN.com or Google.com. So you'll end up on domain A.com, and if you follow the link with the correct referrer, meaning a referrer that shows that you were coming from a Google search, we end up on a different site. So that's how actually I do most of the pre-filtering for malicious domains. Is I go to the same web page in 2 different ways and check if I end up on the same domain in both cases or on different domains. And if you're on different domains, that's a good indication that something bad is going on. Of course, one of the problems with Google is just the scale of everything you do, right? You probably index millions of pages a day, so even any simple kind of filtering will take up a lot of resources. So I've published like about 4 posts about trends and statistics about spam SEO. And one thing I was trying to do for my own research is trying to figure out quickly what URL I should focus on. So I came up with a simple regular expression that allows me to inspect only 2.3% of all the search results that I see and still get 80% of the spam. and that gets me as well 70% of the spam. So once I apply this this regular expression just on the URL, more than 50% of the URLs I get are malicious. And then I can use the other trick to with hitting the URL in different places to figure out if it is actually malicious or not. So my point is, I think it will not be that hard for Google to get rid of at least 80 to 90% of the spam SEO. So that's not a hard problem, and I know the security team at Google is well aware of spam SEO. They've published white papers about fake antivirus pages. They have Google Safe Browsing, which is full of these malicious sites seen after redirections. So I think it's really a matter of getting this information upstream and actually cleaning out the search results. And that's the end of the presentation. I wanted to have enough time for questions. So again, if you are interested in web security and Blackhat Spam SEO, you can check our blog at research.zscaler.com. If you have questions, you can always talk to me in a few minutes, or just or email me at jsobrier@zscaler.com. So I don't know if you have any questions. Yes?
What method do you use to say this is a dangerous link? Like you mentioned, actually downloading.
Right. So let me go back to the slide which explains. So I started out by using a web browser, Firefox, and Selenium to do all the automation. I was just clicking, going to Google Hotline, entering the search result, and going through the links. And what I was checking is, does the page redirects me to another domain? So if you go, I get the list of links from my browser. I visit the link in two different ways. Once I click on the Google link in the search results, so I'm like a regular user. So I go to the spam page, and if it's malicious, I'm redirected to another website. So I can find out which domain I end up in the end. And the other way is I just type the URL in my browser, and I go directly without any RFR. And the vast majority of the spam page will say you're not a regular user. Here's the spam page, or redirect me to a different domain, a non-malicious domain. So by comparing the two domains in the two ways of doing the redirection, I'm able to tell that something is probably wrong. Then for the company itself, we actually create signatures that scan the content and tell the user if they were going to a fake AV page or fake video pages. So that's how I can double check. Either I can look at it manually if nothing triggered, none of that signature triggered, I will look at it manually. But otherwise, I'll just look at the content, because most of these malicious pages are always the same. I mean, they make changes from time to time, but the fake AV pages that I found a few months ago are still existing right now. They have different variations of the page, but it's not that much change in general. Yes?
So you're absolutely right that they close the per header.
So, sorry.
So this is continually an arms race between the good guys and the bad guys. And so let's assume your tool gets traction and it's out there and we're rewriting your per headers. What happens as soon as you start to make a dent with your tool and the bad guys notice it and then they stop looking against your per and start looking at something else? So, how is this going to be again?
Sorry.
Can you repeat his question?
Okay. So the question was, are you sure that they are looking at the referrer to redirect people from a spam page to a malicious site? And the follow-up was, since the bad guys, it's always a race between good guys and bad guys. So if your Firefox extension is getting popular, will the bad guy change the tactic and use a different trick to redirect users? So how do we know that they are using the referrer to redirect users? So most of them do it, not 100%, but most of them do it. So the way we know it is I was able to see some of the PHP script that I used to do this redirection, and I saw what they're actually doing for making a difference between users and And regular users? Okay. So, I mean, the reason for this tool is really because Google is not doing the filtering, right? What I hope will happen is that Google will actually be able to filter out the search results, and there won't be any need for this tool anymore. So it's true that this tool is protecting for one type of attack, but there are already attacks that are not being detected by this tool because they don't actually check for the referrer. I did a post a few days ago about the hot video issue. So this one is similar, but what they do is they don't actually check for the referrer. They have a flash all over the page, and they do the redirection with flash only. So what they look at is, do you have a full browser with flash support? So Google bot will only see the spam page, won't follow the flash redirection, but the user will get redirected to this flash. Is there any other question? Yes?
What was the time period you said for your study? You said, was it March?
So for the statistics, it was from like March to July.
Okay. Did you notice, or you could keep track of over time if the site trends queries were getting more or less spammy, or did you just look at it all in aggregate?
So yeah, I did look at this. It's very hard to tell because you might get 10 searches with just one link, and then one of them gets 90 links. So it really depends. It really depends on how much good content there is for this keyword. So most of the popular searches are about celebrities. If the celebrity is not that well known, there's not too much content over there, so the spam pages will be pretty high in the list of Google search results. If it is for Britney Spears, some other popular search result, the good content will come pretty fast, and it will push out the spam pages from the first 100 links. So it's hard to tell how it's evolving over time, but it's still there. I'm pretty much still finding as many malicious links as I was a few months ago. No other question? Yes?
You mentioned that a lot of these queries come from Google Hot Trends.
Yeah.
Do you think it would help if Google Hot Trends were to compute queries in a different way? Or do you think they just come up with queries from some other creator?
So that's a very interesting question. So the question was, they use Google Hot Trend to get the list of keywords. So should we change the way we actually display information? That's very interesting because 2 days ago, something changed in Google Hot Trends, and all my automation to get the list of Google Hot Trends actually broke. So I don't know if it was intentional or not, but basically the type of URL you can enter in Googlebot became much more strict. So if you go to Google Trend, the date will be, for example, 2010-8-8, and before I was entering 2010-08-08, and I was working fine, but 2 days ago it actually, I was getting error for that. And same thing actually for accessing Google. Looks like something changed a few days ago, and I was able to do that. You can actually it's not that hard to find the source code for some of these spam pages, how they do the redirection. So you can actually look at how they connect to Google Hot Trends, or even how they do the redirections and make some modification to do that. But I think by the time you make the modification, for me, for example, when they made this small modification to Google Hot Trend, it didn't take me much time to go around it. So as long as regular users are able to see this page, bots will be able to see it as well. But this page only exists for US. For US, I was trying to see if this type of spam SEO is popular in other countries, and I could not find it. There's another tool that gives trends for all the countries in the world, but it's very different. And the result, the hot trends you get for US, for example, are very different from Google Hot Trends. Yes? So did I try with other pages? Did I try to check more pages? So I didn't really want to go over 10 pages because I don't think a user will actually go that far. I have some statistics about how many links you see per page, and that's pretty well distributed. So you pretty much see as much bad pages in the first page as the 10th page, but over time, yeah, it does get pushed down to later pages. I've also looked at how much time it takes for the spam to get into the Google index, and first day you don't get anything, and actually most of the spam page will only create spam pages for the day before. But usually, if you look for a trend, 5 days to 12 days after it was popular, that's where you get the most number of spam pages. Yes?
So, what do you know about people who are doing all this business? How many there are, and what kind of tools are they using? And are they mostly using something they wrote themselves and then tweak easily, or are they purchasing some scripts from other parties?
Okay, so what about the people who are behind this? So I don't know that much. What I know is actually mainly from what my colleagues have done, other security researchers have done. It looks like there are only a few groups who are doing this. If you see the fake AV pages, they look very similar, and even when there are some small variations, the source code is pretty much always the same. I've seen the source code of some of the botnets, and what you can see is all code being commented out and modification being done. So it looks like it's a small number of people in Eastern Europe, mostly Russia. One of the problems is it's very hard to track down even who is hosting these sites because the spam pages are on legitimate websites. The malicious domains are either free domains like a subdomain of .co.cc, which is a free register. Anybody can get this domain for free, no ICANN registration. Or they also hijack other legitimate websites to host their malicious site. So it looks like it is a small group of people doing this. But I'm not 100% sure. Okay, any other question? Otherwise, we can either talk later or you can send me an email if you have a question. There should be a video available, so if you want to forward this to any friend or colleague, you can do that. Thank you.